Hey, welcome to the what?
What it do, baby? Hey, I got my power wall then. What it do? Hey, look, it's another episode of Trash Talk with Bobby and Shine. That's yours, Bobby. I'm Shine. Hey, we did a whole lot of bullshit today. See, look, hey, I got you. Well, it wasn't today. It wasn't today.
It was
but
yesterday.
A lot of things went on with UFC 279, and we here to ask you one simple question. Did all of that crap that happened actually make this card better? We're going to get into that. We're going to get into that.
On top of that, 209, motherfucker. We're going to talk about Diaz and his victory over Ferguson. And then right after that, we're going to get into some Chimaev, and we're going to ask the question, is he ready? Shine's going to answer that for you later on. And then what's next for Diaz, man? What's next with Diaz? He might be doing a little boxing. He might be doing a little boxing. Even though he did say, you know what I'm saying?
He skated around everything. I didn't know he had such professional mannerisms. I thought he was going to be like, beep, beep, beep. Y'all, I'm out, and then dip. So, you know, shout out to Nate for keeping his composure on that one. Let's see. Mike Page in the building. What up, Mike? Here we go. You ready to get this thing started?
Yeah, man. Let's get into the first part of the show, man. The mix up. It got all mixed up.
So Bob, when you woke up this morning, and it's 9/9/2022, and it's 7:30. Nate Diaz is fighting Khamzat Chimaev. Tony Ferguson is fighting Li Zhang, and Kevin Holland is fighting Rodriguez. Everything seems to be all set in the world. Drake dropped 50,000 on Nate to win at like plus 900. Vegas is getting robbed. If Diaz pulled this off, everything is everything. And at 8:02, everything upside down. Oh, we're getting reports that Chimaev is a little bit overweight. He's not gonna be able to make it.
He don't give a shit.
And look, no, you talk about not. And so I'm thinking, look, you talk about not giving a shit. That's Nate. Nate not giving a shit because Nate went and stepped on that scale at 171 and said, "Hey, if he don't make it, that's on him." Chimaev steps on the scale at 178.9 or 178.5.
I don't know, but he stepped on it heavy.
178.5. Because he was 7.5 pounds over is what it was. You know, people say 8.5, but you do get that 1 pound allowance, so we'll allow it. 7.5 pounds over, but I swear I heard in the post-fight interview when he was saying like the doctors and stuff told him to stop cutting. I swear he said that he knew he was fighting Holland the night before. So that's why he came in at 170. What was it? 178. So little dundasso. I've never been an MMA conspiracy theorist. Never been. Don't believe him. But I was on one this week.
All I know is the Diaz Chimaev fight was not a fight that the fans actually wanted to see, because if you look at Chimaev's previous fights, you think in your head from Diaz's performances that Chimaev was going to just get him the business. And looking at that Holland fight, and we're going to get into it a little bit later, Chimaev might have did him the same way he did Holland, but you never know.
Look at the Diaz fight, and we're going to get into that a little bit later, and he had a little choke ready.
Oh, yeah.
So in the post-fight, he said, bro, all we did was wrestle this whole camp. He said, man, I guess I'll go watch a video, you know, kind of see how he fight, then we're going to go fight him. But past that, man, we'll ask this question here because the rest of it will be about individuals. So this will be about the card as whole. The Li Zhang fight was pretty sure Lee got robbed on that.
I thought he won it. I thought he won the
pretty
first
sure
round.
Lee got robbed on that.
the third round. I thought he won
giving
first
up
and
10
third.
pounds. So
Yeah.
that fight, uber
He came out slanging
competitive.
and banging too.
That fight, uber competitive. Nate Diaz, Tony Ferguson. That fight, a lot more competitive than what we would have gave Diaz credit for when he said the words like, "Man, I just quit training for this fight, man. Whatever."
Yeah, man, he put on hoax on us, man, because I thought he came in, he wasn't even thinking about this fight as being serious. He just was his last fight, trying to get a payday. But he came in, he was serious, man. He was serious.
Look,
he didn't even get cut up either. He didn't get cut up.
I was gonna say that he wasn't bleeding. That's why he said. Bob said, "Look, Diaz ain't gonna start fighting until he get that first cut."
Hell yeah, I was sitting there talking about it too.
And then somebody on this fight card was gonna get smashed, and just so happened,
my boy Holler.
You're at Hal Holland. Was this mix up, all of this rearranging, did it make the card better? I feel like it made it more competitive, but did it make it better? Yes,
definitely made it more competitive. I felt like it was better to watch because I don't think we got anything out of that Holland versus Holland versus
Chimaev.
No. Holland. Who was supposed to
fight? Rodriguez, I believe.
Yeah. He's supposed to fight Rodriguez before. I don't think we would have got anything out of that fight. The Tony Ferguson versus Lee Jianling fight, I don't think we would have got anything out of that one either. So, and then the Chimaev Diaz fight, I just feel like that would have been a massacre. So, the three fights on the card wouldn't have been as interesting as it was until the mix-up. The mix-up gave it more parity.
The only fight. So as I'm looking at this, right, the only fight that I believe would have been more interesting, but it would have been an idea of like, would we have cared enough from the interesting part of it? Because like the Irene Aldana Macy Chiasson fight, lit. Come on, man, she got hit with a liver.
No, it was
a up kick liver kick.
Yes, that was
in a fight that I don't think she was winning at that time.
She won the first round and then she lost the second. And then all of a sudden, that third round was anybody's. Because
I thought Macy was winning it, and then boom, she said,
because if you remember the first round, she came out.
Aldana had her back the whole time.
Yeah, she dominated the first round.
Yeah,
and then a corner came in and said, "Hey, you got to do something. You lost the first round. You got to do something." And scorecards was 10-9, 10-9 for either opponent for the first and second. So the third round was you got to come in, you got to do something.
I had Macy winning the third round. I don't know, but look, back to the whole mix up, right? So you got Kevin Holland versus Daniel Rodriguez. Could have been very interesting, but I don't think anybody would have cared. But then you go back to your Li Jianliang fight versus Daniel Rodriguez, and that fight was interesting. I'm pretty sure Lee got robbed. But let's switch it like this: Tony Ferguson versus Li Jianliang. I don't know if Tony gonna get through all them haymakers.
Oh no!
That Lee was throwing, because Lee had bad intentions for everybody.
Lee came in with the intention of going at a fast pace, and he know Tony Ferguson was gonna do a little bit of running, so he was ready to get in there and slang and bang, and his cardio was very good, especially in the third round, because you saw that Li Jianliang was up to the task, especially with somebody who was 10 pounds heavier than he was.
So that fight may not have been competitive. And then you got Khamzat versus Diaz in the main event, and I don't know, man. That got me wondering when he came out there and did that. Let's get into the Diaz Ferguson fight, but I don't know if Diaz would have fared. I still bet on him at plus 900, but I also knew what I was betting. There was a reason why he was plus 900, I guess.
True. Before we get into the next part of the show, man, we got to talk about what's in the bottom right corner, man. Stunt is a habit. Get like us. Habits365.com/trash talk BS for all that apparel for 10% discount. And if you want your logo or promo in the bottom right corner, all you got to do is hit us up at
myfeetsmelllikebutt@gmail.com.
Hey, man, greatest email account ever made. Let's get into the next part of the show.
Look,
209, motherfucker.
So look, UFC 279 is in the books. all the posters switch, all this, that, and the other. We get Diaz versus Ferguson.
Shout out to the person who switched the posters up. Shout out to him.
Hey,
Shout out.
I know
last minute notice.
I know he had that up the night before.
Shout out.
I'm on my conspiracy theory. I know he had that up the night before because they was like, hey man, can you, just in case, can you go ahead on and make me a Diaz Ferguson? He like, yeah man, I got you. I'll just slide them in. I already got the pictures. And they was like, hey, just in case, can you make me a Diaz Poirier? Yeah. And I can make that. Yeah, I got the picture. Diaz Poirier was at what, 176? Said, hey man, I can hop on the jet right now. So we was ready. So we get Diaz versus Ferguson, right?
Yeah.
And a fight that had everything, you know, little gamesmanship, little classic Diaz, you know, a little, hey man, I might chill for, I just kidding, we fighting, you know. That's,
oh man, hey, the classic Diaz is when he was laid up, both hands on the side of the cage, looking into the crowd. I think he might have said a few words like, "Man, this motherfucker keep running." Then Ferguson came in and shoot or get a shot in, and Diaz kicked him in
the side kick. I'm like, we got a lot of stuff in this fight, right? And then from there, we got 4 rounds. We got 4 rounds that didn't look sad. No. Does that make sense?
No, it did not. It was very competitive.
Sad. It didn't look. So Diaz was doing the like hands on his knees and all that here, that, and the other. My man took a lap. The ref was like, hey man,
y'all need to fight.
hey. Yo, my man walked an entire 360-degree circle and then got back to fighting. And we all over here laughing. But what was so funny about it is whenever he got back to fighting, he got back to fighting. It was not sad. I'm not sad for Diaz. And we'll talk about that in the what's next section, because that made me feel better. That made me feel better about the whole thing. As far as Ferguson go, we'll talk about Ferguson in this too. Is this it?
It's time. Oh,
sorry. You can't say that. Don't. Hold on, Bruce. I'm sorry, man. You remember when my man said, it's time to knuckle up? And Bruce said, hey, boy, hey, and don't keep that pause. Bruce said, don't keep that pause, and you better get that pause out your mouth. So look, it's time for Ferg.
Man, it's been time, man. Hey, after the Gaethje fight, when I felt like his soul left his body, he competed in a way where it was like, hey man, you need to stop. And Gaethje was just putting them hands to his face. He came out all bloody, and I feel like his soul was just beaten into a rumble, and he shouldn't have been in there, or he shouldn't have been in there that long. The ref should have jumped in. After that fight, I felt like Tony was done. I feel like it was in for him, and he just keeps going, and just keeps going, and just keeps going.
Front kicked.
And then it's meme after meme after meme, and I'm just like, it's time to go, man. It's time to go. It's time to pursue a new career. It's time to do something new. It's time to do something else. It's time to go out and get another dream and pursue that dream the same way you pursue this whole UFC. And I feel like he's gonna be very successful in something else, but I just don't feel like it's UFC anymore. I don't feel like it's fighting in the UFC.
But devil's advocate, whenever he got ducktailed by Chandler,
ooh. Oh, sorry,
he didn't look the worst for that fight. He didn't look super bad with this fight. Just because he was moving and Diaz was poking fun at it, don't necessarily mean it was something that he was doing wrong. I don't necessarily believe that Tony Ferguson was running. Who Kevin Ferguson? Is that's Kimbo, ain't it?
Man, Tony was running.
I don't think he was running.
He was running.
We're gonna go with running. Keep running. But no. So Diaz looked good though. And then Tony's corner said, "Hey man, take him down." And then Diaz was like, "Yo, why you tell him to?" He said, "Let me go ahead on and make sure that real tight." And then look, and then he had to get a picture. At first I was like, "Damn, Diaz, why you do that?" But then basically him letting go of his opposing hand to throw up the sign for the picture. You know what I'm talking about? I should have put the picture up. Technically, that softened the choke, so he was being a bit of a ding-a-ling, but it wasn't that bad. Like when they was throwing up both of them when he had the triangle, but he hadn't got the tap yet when he had that up. But for this one, he was throwing that. I was like, man, come on, man, you know he tapped. But technically, when he let go of his hand, he was letting go of the choke. He just needed to get a picture first. I can't wait to get to the what's next section. Look, we got to get there next.
If anything, though, here's the thing. If any fight for Tony Ferguson to win, it would have been this fight.
Yes.
Because Diaz been on his way out. Diaz been at the end of his career, just like Tony, or I think Tony is. If any fight for Tony Ferguson to win, to get himself back into the win column, to get himself more confidence going into his next fight, it was this one.
But Tony
this fight right here, Diaz sells.
But what I'm saying though, because we call him for his head, right? So we call him for his head, but Tony sells. So you know what's gonna happen, right? Welcome to the PFL, Tony Ferguson. Welcome to ONE FC, Tony Ferguson. Shout out to ONE FC is on what? Amazon now? Amazon Prime? Yeah. Eagle FC, welcome you, Tony Ferguson. So I don't feel like did you see Thiago Santos got cut? Mahete, he got the little Mahete on his chest. He got cut. He in the PFL now.
What? I didn't know he got cut.
Shit was a secret, I guess. I don't know. But I'm just saying, Tony Ferguson, welcome to Bellator, Tony Ferguson. Tony gonna sell, Tony gonna Tony too. And against those lower guys, you know what? I'm not gonna say that because there's not a lot of UFC fighters that had a lot of success when they left the UFC. So I'm gonna let that go. You ready to get into the next one? Sorry. Name one besides Mighty Mouse and
Mighty.
My boy told me Gegard Mousasi. Other than that, that's it.
Mighty Benson
Henderson did not have that much, not the success that he should have had when he went out on top.
Benson Henderson,
and then he had problem with the Pitbull brothers, along with other people. Brent Primus or something.
Anthony Pettis.
Hey, Mike Perry said Mike Perry. Nah, Mike Perry beat MVP. So maybe he is doing better than he was in the UFC.
All I know is his head don't move, and I don't understand how he keep winning.
Hey, look, he don't got to worry about his nose being broken no more, man. You can't get any broken worse.
I don't care about the nose.
Than the last time he got broke.
His head don't move.
His head can't be any broken worse than the last
time
he got broke.
His head go like this. In a bare knuckle fight, his head just the same as mine. It's just sitting right there for people to knock the shit out of.
Apparently, they didn't do that much because he had 6 rounds. He got that dub.
Apparently.
Yeah, you ready to get into that next one? Let's talk about Chimaev.
Yeah, let's get into the next part of the show, man. Before we get into it, man, we got to talk about what's in the bottom right corner. Stunting is a habit. Get like us. Habits365.com/trash talk BS for that 10% discount. And if you want your logo or promo at the bottom right corner, all you got to do is hit us up at
my feet smell like butt at gmail.com.
Hey, man, greatest email account ever made.
Pow.
Blicky. Is he ready?
So look.
Is he ready?
Hey, if he didn't go out there and finish Kevin Holland the way that he finished him, right? Are we done talking about Khamzat Chimaev?
I mean, like
we not gonna let the weight go, and that's one thing that kind of gets me with the conspiracy theory. If they're like, yeah, man, so just going on and come in heavy, I'm like, they gonna roast his ass for the rest of his career. We not gonna let him forget that. So maybe he didn't do that on purpose.
Don't let it weigh on you, man. Don't let it weigh on you.
Hey, that's a good one.
Don't let it weigh on you, man.
But listen. If he doesn't come out here and basically smash Holland like that, are we still talking about this? Because this brings the boogeymaniness, the boogermanus back, right? Except for the fact that he didn't make weight. So we have
the biggest thing that happened in this whole card was he got exposed for not being a boogeyman, because the perception of him is he's this big, scary gangster guy that will fight you anywhere, anytime, any place. And if he does not like you, it's on sight. And he got exposed to the point where when the cameras were around, he was talking that talk, trying to walk that walk, but not engaging. But when the cameras were not around, he was fist bumping, saying hello, saying what's up, trying to get to know people, this, that, and the other. So I feel like he got exposed in this, and there was a lot of stuff that exposed him. His I don't care attitude when he didn't make the weight. He could have played it down a little bit and said and been more humble and apologetic. But he just said, I don't give a fuck.
You know,
you
what
don't follow me, you don't follow me. It is what it is.
You know what would have been better when he stepped on the scale and the guy read 178. He'd be like, what the fuck? Check it again, man. I have to be.
Yeah.
Hey, like,
I need to take my drawers off.
I need to take my drawers. Can I take? He asked Dana, can I take my drawers off and see if I can get closer? That'd be the funniest shit ever. Oh man, that'd have been great. But instead, you know, he kind of leaned into, but hey, what's a boogeyman if he's not a heel?
True.
Full turn heel. Now he is a villain in the UFC because he didn't make weight. And
that's even better for ticket sales.
So he's got this whole like, man, all y'all, you know, this, that, and you know, Mike said 4 out of 5 UFC fights doesn't take a single significant strike. Unheard of.
He didn't even take a strike in this fight.
And then everybody was talking about, so if you go back and look at it, they're like, what's with the fake glove touch? That shit was awkward and stupid. Why would you do that? I don't necessarily believe it was a fake glove touch. He didn't never make an effort to actually touch gloves. And if anything, I put on Facebook, I was like, man, I'm gonna lose my my glove touch bet. They touched gloves when they brought them together. I didn't think they was gonna touch gloves considering they wanted to fight in the back, which again alludes to what you're saying. It's like, oh, the camera's on, let me boogeyman it up. And then, you know, really, you know, he's a good guy. So they like touch gloves you throw out there. And then, you know, I try. Thank you. But from there, he goes out basically, damn near sprinting at him. Kevin Holland sort of throws up the, hey man, hey, you want to touch gloves? And then my man's like, nah. And then a couple flippity flips later, and he ends up, you know, like this, and he sits up and gives him a little smile, like, hey, bud, you ain't standing a chance. I got you, didn't I? I got you. You ain't standing a chance, buddy. So here's the thing. Here is your question, Bobby. Is he ready for a title shot?
Is he ready?
Is he ready for a title shot?
Is he ready?
Right now.
Man,
this fight was made
3 times.
3 times.
3 times. Not 1, not 2, but 3 times.
3 times. This fight made 3 times.
And he got canceled 3 times.
And, well, 2 of them was one and 1 of them was the other or something, but they got canceled 3 times. Here's the thing, though. If they fought next, which I don't necessarily think it would be the case because Edwards has a long list of people that aren't, you know. I can't call him. You still have to call Chimaev the hype train, right?
You got to.
This ain't a quality win, though.
He a money fight.
Is this Holland fight a quality win?
Yes, it is. This is a quality win. He already fought Burns. Burns was a quality win.
To where now that's what gets him over the hump to a title fight, to leapfrog.
So here's the thing though. We were thinking that Diaz was going to be a quality fight to get him over the hump to fight for the title. No, this was a money fight.
Right.
Diaz
That's what
was
I'm
a money
saying.
fight.
I'm trying to figure out, like, both of these fights and fighters that you do we put them in the same category, or are we saying once you beat him, then now we're ready for the title fight? You got
I think
Edwards.
he's ready.
You got Edwards. He's got a long list. I mean, does he fight Usman again? Colby Covington, I believe, called out Chimaev, so that was different.
Ooh,
That's Colby. I think that's Colby Covington realizing that he's not going to get a dance partner in Leon Edwards just yet, and he's going to have to knock out the hype train. Imagine this. Put them on the same card, co-main and main event. That way, if you got to do a little topsy-turvy, all you got to do is say, hey, man, if you just weigh in at, 170 or less, then if something happens to Chimaev, you get the fight. But instead,
I like this.
Not Chimaev, but something happens to the main event, then you get the fight. So, and then Edwards, Usman,
I think that should be the
Covington,
next fight.
Chimaev.
I think that's a card right there. Hey, matchmaker. Put the name on that. Matchmaker. Matchmaker.
My, how things have changed to where the outlook on the UFC was like bleak. Like, man, all y'all do is put together a one fight cards or something. And once you get to, like, this division now has a story to tell us.
Yeah, and then also, here's the thing, though. If you put them on the same card, God forbid anything like drastic happens, each individual winner is on the same timeline to fight each other the next year around August or September.
Yes. They can all sub in for each other, and then they're all ready whenever the next fight happens. I just fought in December. Well, I fought too. What you mean? Get your ass ready.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
And a lot of storylines.
But
this is great. Let's
go down the list, though. Chimaev, from what you see, Chimaev is right now. The hittable guy that you saw with Gilbert Burns, the unstoppable force that he does whenever he goes to take people down, and roll and rag. So, does that get past Edwards? Yes or no?
If Edwards comes out and performs the way he did against Usman, Chimaev will roll over him. Now, if Edwards comes out and everything's working for him, he's very technical. I feel like Chimaev will run into some traps.
Yes or no?
And then Edwards will get him. But I feel like it's a no. I feel like Chimaev is that next big thing.
I say yes on either one of your sides. Chimaev rolls through Edwards. All right, here we go. Usman. Does Chimaev roll through Usman?
I think Usman has more power than Burns.
Yes,
I feel like Usman catches him like Burns did. Usman knocks him out. I feel like Usman last hoorah. Chimaev, I think he wins. No rematch though.
Usman, so he's not getting through Usman.
I feel like he gets. I don't feel like he gets through Usman.
I don't
feel like he. And I don't feel like he gets a rematch either. I think Usman puts his gloves in the center of the ring and says, "I'm done."
He can't do that because he would have to beat Edwards, then beat Chimaev. I guess if he did that, he did that.
I feel like he does.
Okay, then if that's the case,
he's done.
If that's the case, then that means that your next answer is dependent on for the scenario to come true. Does Chimaev get past Colby Covington?
Man, he rolls through Colby Covington.
You have lost your mind.
Dude, you have lost your mind. And if I feel like that Usman versus Chimaev is going to be a good fight, but I feel like he get caught, Usman has beat Colby Covington, I feel like, handily the last 2 times. Chimaev goes through him.
I don't feel like anybody not named Kamaru Usman. Leon Edwards may surprise me. That's fine. But anybody not named Kamaru Usman don't get past Colby. I don't think Chimaev get past Colby. What he gonna do? Tell me what he gonna do. He gonna go out there and get hit in the face a couple times, and then Colby's gonna break his hand or something. Is that what's gonna happen? You telling me he gonna ragdoll Colby Covington? You gotta show me. Let me.
I feel like he's bigger. I feel like he's stronger. He's taller. He's longer. I feel like he's the better fighter. I feel like the only thing that Colby Covington has over Chimaev is the gas tank.
Let me get any kind of plus money on Colby Covington versus Khamzat Chimaev, and I'm betting the house, brother. I might bet 20.
Bet what you want.
That's 4 times
right
my normal bet limit. I usually bet $5.
Colby Covington is not giving past
You
Chimaev.
have lost your mind. I'll bet
you have
even,
lost your
I'll
mind.
bet you even right now. Here it is. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it first here on the Trash Talk with Bobby and Sign. So we are going to have the bet going right now. I take Khamzat Chimaev. He's taking... No. I take Colby Covington. He's taking Khamzat Chimaev, and whoever loses has to wear, I'll make it, has to wear a shirt that says, name here is the best brother ever. Oh, no. Let's make it better. Let's say if I win, you have to wear a shirt that says Shantae is my brother. And I'll wear a shirt that says Bobby's little brother.
Okay. We can do that. We can do that.
For context, they wouldn't stop calling me Bobby's
live
little
on
brother.
Air, we can do that. We can do that live on air. Show everybody. Let them know.
Look, for context, they wouldn't stop calling me Bobby's little brother in college. You Bobby's little brother, ain't you? Well, I got a name. Hey, listen. We're gonna come back to that. If that fight gets put together, we're gonna have a lot to say about that.
I mean, nice.
And how excited he didn't make weight, so technically this wasn't a welterweight fight. But how exciting did he make the welterweight division overnight?
Very exciting. Very exciting. Very exciting.
We ain't even talking about Jorge.
Oh, Jorge. Look, before we get into the next part, so I got to talk about one thing. The biggest thing I like about Jorge and Diaz is they the same person outside the ring as they are inside the ring.
Yep.
You will get a 2-piece and a soda outside the ring and inside the ring with Jorge. And Diaz doesn't give a fuck about you before. He doesn't give a fuck about you during. And he damn sure don't give a fuck about you after. That's the biggest reason why these individuals draw as many people as they do. Is because of that simple fact alone right there. And the only thing that was going for Chimaev was the fact that he was the boogeyman. And everybody thought he was the boogeyman. And they thought he was this big gangster. And then after this weekend, he became more of a heel because he's not the gangster that he thought he was. He is not the gangster we thought he was. He is a regular smuggler guy, just like anybody else in the UFC. And that makes us mad because it's like we thought this guy was that dude. He is that dude when he gets inside the cage, but outside the cage, he is he's not as charismatic as we thought he was before.
I need you to understand me when I say this. Mike's with you too, tomorrow. He like Kobe, but he's with you. Y'all have lost.
You have lost your
minds right now. If you think that he's going to ragdoll Colby Covington, if you put Habib same frame, just make him bigger, so he's a 170er with everything that he's done. He does not ragdoll Colby Covington. And if you think that Khamzat Chimaev is a better wrestler than Habib was, I'm not sure about that either. He does not. You ready to get into what's next? Let's talk about some Diaz.
Yeah, man. Before we get into the next part of the show, man, let's talk about the bottom right corner. Stunt is a habit. Get like us, habits365.com/trash-talk-BS for that 10% discount on all apparel. And if you want your logo or promo in the bottom right corner, all you got to do is hit us up at
My feet smell like butt at gmail.com.
Hey, man, greatest email account ever made. Next part of the show, man.
I can't move to the next one because he said, I'm betting everybody. I got you too, Mike. You just got the same bet. You could say Shine is the best. Is going to go on your shirt. And then whatever you could think of, I'll do a Mike Page is the best on my shirt. I bet both I believe that in the bottom of my soul that I'm willing to wear that. I'll wear it in red too, because I look good in red. Moving on.
You're gonna be the dumbest dude here.
I am not. I'll wear it on the show. I'll wear it proud. I wear
Man,
it proud.
what's next for Diaz, man?
Ooh.
Let's get into the little post-fight speech after he got that dub with the arm right here looking like this right here where he was sitting here with the choke, had his muscles showing and everything. After he got up, he tiptoed and tap around a couple things about what he's going to do outside of UFC. He did say he might come back, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't know if he comes back. There's no reason unless the McGregor, the only fight is the McGregor fight, and I don't think he's super interested. And I don't. Jorge Masvidal couldn't get him back. I only think Conor could get him back, but the only way Conor could get him back is if Conor fought and won. Because guess what? We are not sad. He goes out there and he gets beat like Holland did against Khamzat Chimaev. We're talking a complete different story. Is this it for Nate? Hang him up, Nate. This could be, or if he goes out there and he has a fight. What's two old heads that went out there and had a fight and we were like, bruh, this is sad. I don't know, but think about whoever it is and insert their names into my conversation. He goes out there and he does that. And we're like, damn, man, there ain't no more Diaz. No. He goes out, does his antics. He goes out, he gets the dub. He gets a submission. He throws up the arm. He does all of that. So guess what we all are? Excited.
Locked in, baby.
We are locked
Trilogy.
in.
We here. We in the
are
building.
Locked in. Shout out to the Photoshop dude that got Diaz in his photo too. Pretty damn good. My guy. This the only fight, right? Like he talking about I'm gonna go take over some more sports. He not about to be no doing Michael Phelps 100-meter swim or go golf.
He's gonna synchronize swim, man. Him and his brother gonna synchronize swim. They're gonna jump off the top and they're gonna do some backflips together.
Okay. He not this is a legitimate one. The rest of them was just me being funny. He not doing BKFC, is he?
I mean, his face tissue will not allow him to do so because he's gonna get cut up in the first 2 seconds.
But he didn't get cut, so maybe he fixed it.
How you fix face tissue?
I don't know. Love time. That's how Harry Potter's scar never opened up. Love. I don't know. But look,
man, the one thing though is that if he does do BKFC, that's gonna take BKFC to another level,
stratosphere. But the only problem is
they're gonna pay that man.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Guess who they lost with their main attraction gamble? That if he won, that would have been the fight.
Who?
MVP.
True.
MVP beats Mike Perry, and Diaz fights out his contract in the same way with the W. We're not sad. We're excited to see what he's going to do next. And you say he's fighting MVP and BKFC? Motherfucker, we all in. We are all in. But you get BKFC and it's like, who's the dance partner going to be? Everything sounds fun. Even the Mike Perry fight kind of sounds fun.
Yeah.
But it's nothing stratosphere like that you're going to get out of Nathan Diaz versus Jaculius Paul. I don't know his whole name. Nate Diaz versus... Hold on. Take a step back. Jake Paul actually goes out there and outpoints Anderson Silva.
That ain't...
And then
man,
this fight... Anderson Silva... Listen.
The only way that happens 47 is years old. There, like, he come in like, hey, you can't touch me. And then
Anderson Silva, 47 years old.
Come through like hammer time.
Anderson Silva, I don't believe will get knocked out. He's got too much. But I believe in some sort of fight that we're all like, yeah. Jake Paul can outwork him just from sheer being young alone. And Anderson Silva. Then we get a Nate Diaz fight. Talk about selling. Jake Paul, listen. You ever go to the store and get you, a little Dr. Pepper, maybe a Slim Jim, and you buy a lottery ticket, and you look at that lottery ticket and you say, shit, this might be it.
Mm-hmm.
That's Jake Paul right now. He is on the phone with everybody he can contact and talk to and says, guys, this is what we've been working for. This is when everybody gets paid. This is it. This ain't no 20,000 pay-per-view buys. This ain't no 100,000 pay-per-view buys. This is 1 million pay-per-view buys for Jaquilius Montreus Paul. I don't know the man name. Shit, it sounded good. Listen.
It's John Paul. Just give it a lot. Oh,
just give it a lot. Let me spark the draw. Listen, though. He has hit the lottery. Because guess what? If he wins, which I don't believe he will, that's one direction. But even if he loses, Nate Diaz won his last fight in the UFC, fought out his contract. We don't think he's a has-been. We're all going to forget that. We all got amnesia right now from where he was. No, he's 50% in his last 10, but he lost like 2 or 3.
He's 50% in his last 10.
But
Only person he's beat is
who?
Tony Ferguson.
Who? Nah, he beat
Nate
Anthony
Diaz.
Pettis.
Oh, ooh, Anthony Pettis.
Look, I don't care what you say. Anthony Pettis who was it that knocked out Anthony Pettis knocked out Wonder Boy, right? And then the next fight he fought Nate Diaz.
Boy.
Whatever, that's a legit fight.
Nate Diaz.
I hate you, man. That's why I hate
Get
you.
so hyped. Anthony Pettis.
I hate you, man. Nate Diaz, he lost to Dos Anjos. Then he beat Michael Johnson. Then he beat Conor. Lost to Conor. Beat Anthony Pettis. He lost to Jorge Masvidal, Leon Edwards, and then he beat Tony Ferguson. That's not as bad as Conor's record.
It isn't. That is
not bad.
The thing is, though, Nate Diaz has fought some legit people.
That's not as bad as Conor's record. When you look at Conor and it says, during his big run when he got the win back from Nate, he beat Eddie Alvarez for the title. Oh, okay. The Floyd fight is what makes it look weird. So he lost to Floyd, but let's not count that. He lost to Habib. He beat Donald Cerrone. And then he lost to Dustin Poirier twice. Not the worst. We all crucify him like, why don't you win a fight, Conor? Not the worst. Just as was a lot of time in between.
Each one is fighting some legit talent, though. Each one fighting legit talent.
Just a lot of time in between. But going back to Nate Diaz versus Jaquilius Montreus Paul. Does this fight sell 500,000 pay-per-view buys?
Man, it says more than that because
I'm getting there.
It said yes.
Yes. 1 million pay-per-view buys.
Yes.
1.5 million.
I don't know, but it might get there.
So we were looking at what we were looking at, 2 million for the Conor Mayweather fight.
Yeah.
That fight's not as big as that.
They should do it the weekend before Christmas because everybody's home.
Yeah. Yeah. This fight ain't as big as that though. Conor versus Mayweather. No, it ain't as big as that one.
No. And it damn sure ain't big as Conor versus Diaz.
You don't think Jake Paul versus Diaz is bigger than Conor versus Diaz after we've seen them fight twice?
It's 1-1, baby. We got to see who's going. It's a rubber match.
It's 0-0 against them, and somebody's has got to go.
Whatever. But I don't give a shit. It's boxing. We know Diaz does MMA. We know Diaz practices boxing, but has Diaz been in the boxing ring and actually box?
He's
for a
1-0.
profession.
He's 1-0. It says on his box. Bad boy.
And then
That's not Nate.
He did that how long ago?
Southpaw. That might 6 feet 7-4 reach. Stockton, California. Boxing pro. He's 1-0 as a pro boxer.
When was that? 2012?
Oh, let's go back. It was a debut 2005. That has to be right because in 2005, that's when he went and won the Ultimate Fighter, I believe. He was on Team Pulver.
He ain't the same fighter.
I'm just saying he 1-0 as a boxer, so he's not 0-0, so he can get sanctioned. We looking against
which is great.
We looking at Jake Paul, who's what 5-0. What Jake Paul is so smart, man.
Quality wins though. He got quality wins over champions,
and it's the right champions at the right time. He's so smart.
Yeah. Best way to do it is when they down or trying to get back up.
Jaquilius Monteus Paul. Like we keep saying he beat Tyron Woodley. And we say Tyron Woodley is champ. We completely forget that Tyron Woodley, you was calling for his head like 5 fights before he actually left. I'm still calling for his head. Oh, man. Bob, we are really going to be talking about Jake Paul for another year.
Yeah, man. Even if he loses against Anderson Silva, that fight still sells.
It still sells. Think about it like this. When did they first come out? Let's just call it 2 years ago. Jake Paul wasn't even the beginning, right? It was Logan Paul and KSI. Let's call it 3 years ago. I think it was 3 years ago. Did you think that we would still be talking about the Paul brothers?
Nah.
3 years
Well, we're really
from
only
now.
talking about one.
Look, the other Paul brother fought Mayweather.
Yeah, but
kinda, sorta, a little bit.
They said Mayweather should have knocked him out.
Something happened in the ring when they was in the ring, but past that, I don't really know what happened. It wasn't as
interesting as I thought it should have been.
Jaquilius Montavious Paul. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-0 with a win over the Bellator champion of the world and the UFC champion of the world. So if he beats Anderson Silva, which is on the record on Boxer Rec now, right? And Anderson Silva is 3-1 as a pro boxer. He would have beat the 170 champion at Bellator, world champion, the 170 world champion of the UFC, and the 185 world champion of the UFC. Granted, he called him at the right times, but he's got the name. You know when they say the Jared Cannonier, when they're hyping this fight up, guess who they say he beat? Anderson Silva. They don't say when he beat him. They say that he beat him. Right?
Yeah.
Jake Paul out here doing work, son. And
balling.
And Nate Diaz winning sent this fight way up there.
True.
Oh, devil's advocate. This fight doesn't happen. What else did Nate do? Retire? Nothing? There ain't nothing else, right?
Man, there's a lot of stuff out there that you can do, but
what
we don't
is
know.
it in BKFC though?
It's just the money.
Are we excited about Mike Perry? Nate Diaz?
No. Nate Diaz can fight anybody in BKFC. It will sell because it's a new promotion.
But the fact that it would sell and the fact that it would shoot through the stratosphere is a whole different story. You know,
Nate Diaz don't give a shit about stratosphere. He gives a shit about that paycheck.
Right. I'm saying, think about the paycheck whenever it's in the stratosphere. Think about the paycheck when it's not. I don't think think that there's anybody in the BKFC that would get us out of our seats, unless it's some type of new signee of somebody that I don't even think there could be any new signee that could get us.
Chad Mendez looked good in his first fight.
Chad Mendez is a 45er.
I'm just saying in general.
He might do it at 55, but Nate ain't never going back to 55. He said he cut 15 to get here. So that puts Nate at what, 85, 86?
Man,
Nate probably in the 90s.
There is a lot of fights out there that could be made, and Nate Diaz's name beside it. There's a lot of boxing matches he probably can do that can make some money. It's a lot of things out there, man. It's a lot of things.
Okay. What else you got to say about old Nathan Diaz?
That's all I got about Nathan Diaz. But I do want to say in other news, though, the Trash Talk Countdown, no, not Trash Talk Countdown, Trash Talk Fantasy Football League is ongoing right now. I am currently getting my ass handed to me.
Your
Shine
boy
is currently putting up a dub right now in the league. Next week, we'll get into the results from the week prior, which is this week. We'll get into it. Let everybody know exactly what happened in the first week. Give you some highlights of the week itself. Who performed, who outperformed, who on each individual team, who draft was better than other drafts. Apparently, my draft was horrible. And then we're going to get into the next week's performances too. We're going to get into next week, who we're looking for, who coming out strong, who's having a good week at that time, and this, that, and the other. So tune in next week on the Trash Talk Countdown Show for the update on the Trash Talk Fantasy Football League. And next year, we're going to do something a little too. If you want your league to be put out there live on Trash Talk Countdown Show, give everybody an update on what y'all doing. All you got to do is hit us up at
My feet smell like butt at gmail.com.
Hey, man, it's the greatest email account ever made.
Hey,
you
look.
got anything else?
Hell yeah, I got something else.
What you got?
It's your fault. Your shit is terrible.
It is.
You
It's
didn't
totally my
follow
fault.
your own advice.
Yeah, I followed all my advice.
Who took a kicker early?
I took him like 3 rounds earlier. You right. You exactly right.
What is it? You did something else too. Did you get you supposed to get more running backs or something? You didn't take a running back early.
I did not take a running back early enough. I did take a running back early.
I sit here. I don't know shit about fantasy, right? But every year, it had been 10 years of fantasy now. Every year, I hear all these little proverbs from Bobby Ashlick's 121 verse 3 states. But why the hell did he get a kicker in the 4th round? You never draft a kicker. They're gonna get you the same points. Guess what I do? Write that shit down. You didn't follow your own stuff, and that's why you're in the spot that you're in. You better make a trade. You better don't come and ask me for shit. I'll let you get Baker Mayfield.
No, I'm good.
What else you got, Bob? That's all you got?
Man, that's all I got, man.
Hey, look, it's been real.
It's always real, man.
It's been good.
It's been good tonight.
But it ain't been real good.
Hey, man, never that.
Look, we're going to come back next time. We can't stay so long.
I holla.
Peace.